we'll see if Anil Prabhuji is joining. Mata, you won't be able to join because Kartik month, Damodar. So the more we were listening, this is Damodar Ashtakam, and I will share the link here so everyone could have Damodar Ashtakam. There are many more available on YouTube. This is the one on Hare Krishna TV. And the English translation is there, and the Sanskrit script is there. So we can, and it's very melodious. It's going such a smooth pace that we can repeat it after it. And Damodar Ashtakam, every morning, every evening, this month of Kartik month, which is also called Damodar month, all the Vaishnavas recite. So we are also going to have a Damodar Aarti at our place. Well, the Aarti is supposed to happen every day. We show a diya to Lord Krishna in this month because the benefits are multifold. Of course, devotees don't do for the benefits, devotees do it to get advancement in a spiritual path. हरे कृष्णा. So जिस तरीके से हम सोचते हैं कि हम अब जैसे ब्लैक फ्राइडे यहाँ पे आता है या थैंक्स गिविंग आएगा, फिर क्रिसमस, तो इन सब के ऊपर हमको बहुत सेल मिलती है. तो इसी तरीके से दामोदर मंथ, कार्तिक मंथ, पुरुषोत्तम मंथ, ये जो मंथ्स हैं, इनके अंदर हम जितनी भी साधना करते हैं, जितनी भी चैंटिंग करते हैं, उसका हमको जो इंटेंसिटी होती है वो बहुत ज़्यादा हमारी स्पिरिचुअल ग्रोथ के अंदर प्रगति होती है. तो जैसे हम कहते हैं कि अगर अकेले करेंगे चैंटिंग तो उसका जरूर लाभ मिलेगा, लेकिन अगर भक्तों के साथ बैठ के करेंगे तो और अपलिफ्टमेंट मिलेगी. ऐसे ही अगर हम धाम में जाके करते हैं तो उससे हमको और ज्यादा, वृंदावन धाम, मथुरा धाम, नवदीप धाम, जगन्नाथ जी, अगर हम यहाँ जाके करेंगे चैंटिंग और अकेले करेंगे, फिर वहाँ धाम में जाके करेंगे और भक्तों के साथ करेंगे, गुरु महाराज जी के साथ करेंगे, सीनियर डिसाइपल्स के साथ में करेंगे, तो और ज्यादा फर्क पड़ता है. तो इस वजह से जब भी हम चैंटिंग करें तो हम इस चीज का ध्यान रखते हैं कि चैंटिंग करते वक्त हमारी कॉन्शियसनेस क्या होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि द होल प्रोसेस इज टू क्लैरिफाई द कॉन्शियसनेस. हमारी जब कॉन्शियसनेस क्लीन होगी तभी हम अच्छे से आगे और प्रगति कर पाएंगे. जो भी काम हम करेंगे वो अच्छे से करेंगे, कोई हमें देख रहा है नहीं देख रहा है. और इसको जिसको हम इंग्लिश में कहते हैं इंटीग्रिटी, कि इसलिए नहीं कि ऑफिस में बॉस हैं इस वजह से हम अच्छे से काम कर रहे हैं. हम अच्छे से काम कर रहे हैं बिकॉज दिस इज आवर ड्यूटी. सो दैट्स व्हाई अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल दे कंसीडर स्पिरिचुअल बीइंग्स better, efficient workers even at workplace, even if it's nothing to do with their religion or spirituality, but that's how a spiritual practice develops a person. And like another good friend of mine who follows Islam, he said to me once, many years back, and as always, so roughly 20 years back, if I think about it, we were discussing something and we were in university, and he said that we should follow any religion, but we should follow some religion. We should not go without a religion. And I thought, why do you say that? Because obviously, like many other religions, not Hinduism, I guess, but many other religions, they preach to convert. So why do you say that? I asked. And his reply was that we materially, we could fall down in material nature. This is the nature of the material mode, which is like goodness, passion, satgur, tamogur, rajogur, goodness, passion, ignorance. This is what I understood. Of course, I don't remember his exact words. That if we don't follow any spirituality, then we could fall down because we will be there materially. But spiritually, regardless of whichever religion we go for, most of the organized religions in the world anyways, they give us the rights and wrongs, do's and don'ts of the life. So even though if something doesn't make sense or logically we think that way or that way, but when we go spiritually, okay, this has been said. So let's follow and let's try to understand. And most of the time, morally, if we understand with the teacher, again, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra concept applies to any religion. It's not only for Vedic culture. Any religion, Guru, so we need a spiritual master, but that master might not be with us all the time. Then Shastra, our scriptures. But to understand scriptures, we need Guru. But if Guru is not there, how will understand the scripture? That's why we need the Sangha. Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So Sadhu is the Sangha. Sadhu is the Vaishnavas around. Sadhu are the senior practitioners who they have followed what we need to follow. So if you think of that way, that's really, really good. So I've just shared another link, and I should share this on YouTube Live as well. That if we chant and if we have Srila Prabhupada's chanting around, if you see Srila Prabhupada chanting 16 rounds is available, which takes just nearly 2 hours of 16 rounds. Every morning when we chant, we could have this. Sometimes people say, oh, well, we are alone. How do we do it? It's hard to do alone. We can't really do it alone. How do we do it? So how could we do it? We could do it such a way that Srila Prabhupada's chanting is there. We can't have the company of everyone because maybe around 4 o'clock in the morning we can't have the Sangha, we can't go to the temple, we are sitting at home. But if internet is available on YouTube, we can put Srila Prabhupada chanting, and then we will feel that we are chanting with Srila Prabhupada. So maybe we are doing something else, we have some time, what we could do, we could put Srila Prabhupada's chanting. So this is one way of doing it. So if in case you want, the links are there in the chat. I've shared on YouTube Live and I've shared here as well on Zoom. Now let's get fuller and continue with the Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, with our Shri Īśopaniṣad sessions. Let's have Mangala Charan, so we shall resume. Feel free to join me if you like. Om. ज्ञानातिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानजनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुन् श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथवितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सवादूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रियै वाञ्छकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev Maharaj ki jai, jai jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for everyone who joined. This is Mangala Charan, and we should do this Mangala Charan every morning. Any lecture we start, any prayers we start, if we can't do anything else, this Mangala Charan itself has so many prayers for almost all the important personalities we need for our spiritual progress. Of course, we could add many more acharyas, but Guru Maharaj, Om Ajnana Tirmandasya, this is for Guru Maharaj, Guru who has opened our eyes because we were in darkness. And to a great degree, we are still in darkness. A lot of times we fall back in darkness. The activities we are not supposed to do, or in spirituality, when we do the japa, our consciousness is not that clean. So when we do these Mangala Charan, it keeps reminding us. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji's mantra, Krishna's mantra, Radhaji's mantra, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, this is for all the Vaishnavas. So when the Vaishnavas meet, they bow down to each other and they recite this mantra. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya evacha, Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. So this is for all the Vaishnavas. And I've seen this in Muscat, I've seen this in Dubai, I've seen this in Abu Dhabi, I've seen in Paris. In Paris, I was there in the temple, and there were devotees. So two groups of devotees, they met, and I was there. I was just visiting because I stayed in Paris for a while, just under a year. And there were one group of devotees from Belgium, Amsterdam, and other devotees who were native there in Paris. And of course, within Paris, they were from North Paris and South Paris, and we were having a function there. And when these two groups of devotees, they met, they were all white bodies. There wasn't anyone from who was born in India. They were all born on foreign lands. And when they met each other, and they all were, I think most of them were in orange, saffron. Some of them were also in white. So white is usually for grahastha, saffron is usually for brahmacharis or sannyasis. They all were brahmacharis, none of them were sannyasis. But when they both bow down to each other, that's the mantra they said. That when they met each other, so of course many people in socially, we shake hands. In Middle East, some of them, they touch their noses. And of course, sometimes we hug each other. But Vaishnavas, they bow down and we do this mantra, which is Vanchakalpatarubhyascha. Patita Nam Pavanebhyo. Like other Vaishnavas, they can make you purify. So one of the great Prabhuji, he asked Radhanath Swamiji Maharaj that it's hard for me, like what Arjun said in to Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, that I find it very, very, very hard. And then similar thing, this Prabhuji asked Radhanath Swamiji Maharaj, and Radhanath Swamiji Maharaj said similar thing. His Holiness Jayapataka Swamiji Guru Maharaj also said to one of his disciples that if it's hard, you can't practice, or while practicing, it's a lot of hurdles coming, and you really think you can't do it. What is the best way of doing it? His reply was that both His Holiness Jayapataka Swamiji Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swamiji Maharaj, both of them on different occasions, they said that take the shelter of other Vaishnavas. Request other Vaishnavas to pray for you. Because a lot of time what happens, we think that if the father or the mother is angry on one child, if that child is saying sorry, then of course it will mellow down a bit. But what if the brother and sister, sibling of that child who has made mistake, is saying that, oh, please, please, this time, forgive this, my brother, my sister, and next time we'll take care of it. Then the father, mother, the parents have more compassion, saying that the children are working together, asking forgiveness for each other, and that's how the love and compassion between Vaishnavas are. All the God brothers and God sisters, they look after for each other, and that's how we should do, because that's who we are. We are Vaishnavas within the sampradaya and outside the sampradayas as well, as long as we are Vaishnavas, and of course for the whole humanity. It's not only restricted to Vaishnavas, because when we have the compassion, then the compassion is not only for you. Similar thing. So when we teach Bhagavad Gita to kids, we say Arjun at the end of chapter 1 and then in the beginning of chapter 2, he gave 5 different reasons why he cannot fight. And the way to remember is that first thing is compassion. C. And C, compassion. D, destruction of dynasty, the family tradition. E, enjoyment, that with whom I will enjoy if I will kill all of them. Then F, fear, that he has a fear of sinful reaction. And then so C, compassion, destruction, enjoyment, fear. And then the last one, he says, I can't decide. I'm indecisive for I. C, D, E, F, I. These are the 5 reasons, the way he said I can't fight, because I'm indecisive now. The very first reason he said compassion. Now, when he said compassion, that compassion wasn't only for his side. He didn't say that I'm compassionate only for my side, that I'm not going to fight because my side, they are going to be dead. He said, no, everyone, my side and the other side, because they all are cousin brothers. So similarly, when the Vaishnavas, they have devotion and the compassion, it's not only for those who are in the sampradaya, not only for those who are only your god brother or sister, which means either sheltered or initiated brothers and sisters, the disciples of your Guru Maharaj. It's for all. Like Guru Maharaj always said that how you should cater, pay obeisances, respect other disciples of Srila Prabhupada, which means that his god brother and sister, he said, just like me. All my god brothers and sisters, respect them like you respect me. And if you see the 3 aspects of Krishna, like what it says is Bhagavad Gita, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan iti. So they are all 3 different aspects of the same absolute truth, Lord Krishna. The very first one is Brahman realization. Brahman realization is, the analogy is where we can see the sun, the radiation are falling on everyone, and the same sun is there. So similarly, all the beings are the same. The source is the Lord. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. So everyone is, whether somebody realizes or not, whether somebody is in Vedic literature or not, whether somebody is in the same sampradaya, whether somebody is in a different sampradaya, from the same guru or different guru, when the compassion comes in from within due to the spiritual practices, due to the prayers, due to the mercy of the Gauranga, then we have the compassion for everyone. And this is where we resume back, and Hare Krishna to Anil Prabhuji and Bhagavati Mataji, Hare Priya Mataji, to everyone. Hare
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji,
Hare,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So good to have you. I know we are also busy organizing Kartik Mantra, Kartik Puja. So if you haven't received the invitation, I'm sure you will receive invitation soon. But there are many more places. We will be going on Saturdays as well and Sundays as well. This whole Kartik month, Damodar month. So like what we were saying in the beginning, I shared the link, and where Damodar Ashtakam with the is also there. You might able to hear. This is from Hare Krishna TV. And such a Damodar Ashtakam. If you haven't already, in the morning, in the evening, and even throughout the days, whenever we have the time. It's such a beautiful way of starting Kartik mantra. We show lamp to Lord Krishna every day, which we do anyways rest of the year as well. But this month is probably the best. And if you notice, we say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and then this just happens to be this slide has always been there. But if you see, this is the Damodar Leela of Lord Krishna, where from Mother Yashoda is tying Lord Krishna from the rope. So Damo, the Udar, the rope on the stomach. So we shall resume back on mantra 12, and maybe we conclude today what we have seen so far. We've already seen these slides, so very quickly let's whiz through them. We said Krishna is the source of the power, and there are many examples, many references from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, from Shri Īśopaniṣad, the introduction, Om Purnamada Purnamidam, Īśāvasyam principle, the very first mantra we have seen. So there are many more references. In this particular picture, we could see that Lord Shiva came to take darshan of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan. And these quotations, these verses, we've seen the references. Krishna can't be understood by a tiny brain. So material is very hard for us to understand. That's why we have to take the shelter of Guru, Sadhu, and Sangha. Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. How to understand the Shastra? By the mercy of Guru, association of Sadhu, Sangha. And when all three are there, then we will be able to understand Krishna better. We have seen this, that who will not able to understand absolute truth, then we have seen that they are position of absolute truth, who can't understand absolute truth. So first thing is you can't understand the position. The second thing, you could understand the position, but still you can't understand absolute truth. It's so hard. It's like you understand the prime minister is right on the top of the hierarchy, but still it's hard to understand how prime minister works, right? So one thing is the position, and one thing is how the personality works, and it bewilders us. And I've seen devotees, even after 20-30 years of practice, we still ask questions that we don't understand how in this pastime, why Krishna or the devotees of Krishna did that. So this morning, and I will share another link. This is from I've shared in Zoom, and I will share in YouTube Live as well. This is from Bhaktivedanta Manor this morning, and His Holiness Swam Bhagwan Īśop Maharaj Ji has given the class today. Beautiful class, as always. His lectures are awesome, and so many different questions. Another, I think Prema Karuna Prabhuji asked the question. So when you get the chance, have a look how somebody presents through, and how those who listen, they obviously Maharaj been there for 20 years, but at the same time, Prema Karuna Prabhuji been there for over 20 years in the practice. So how the lecture was delivered, and how the question was asked, and what reply was given. And I will not spoil. I will let you have a quick look there. But it's very important, especially in this digital age. We have all these tools. Obviously, the Zoom is there. For example, last 10 days we were traveling, but still we managed to do the sessions because the Zoom was there. So we should take benefits, especially the Kartik month is there, and so many different lectures and so many different. I will share on WhatsApp as well. A couple of years back at Bhaktivedanta Manor, a series was done for all 30 days. If the whole path of the Vrindavan was traced, and all the important points were there, and the story was there for each part, and it's beautiful, and they're very small, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes each video, and we could just spend like every day going through it. How this helps to understand Krishna, and which in this mantra Radhesham Prabhuji, this is what I said, that we can't understand by our own tiny brain. So, but the most important thing for us probably is way out. We can understand, it's hard to understand, right? This is easy to understand, but that's the first step that we can't understand. But how we can understand? So we should look forward for it. Why? Because it says don't get stuck in the Brahm Jyoti. And we've seen this. There are 5 different types of muktis mentioned. One of them is where we get spiritual, and Brahm Jyoti is a spiritual, but then we don't have a relationship between with Krishna, right? It's like we are not going to get the diseases. There is not going to be old age. We are not going to get any disease. We are not going to die. But there is no relationship with Krishna anymore. And that's a dormant state. We could be there, but is there going to be happiness? Well, the happiness will be there in a form that unhappiness will not be there on a bodily form. If you think about it, there's no disease, there's no deformation of the body. We are not going to get old, and we are not going to die there, right? So bodily pains are not there, hence we can say we are happy. But the bliss we get by serving Vaishnavas in the association, and how we interact with Lord, an interaction with Lord could be when we read Bhagavatam, because Krishna is there in the form of Bhagavatam with us. We don't have all that when we go to Brahmajyoti. So, and again, many more quotes are given for that. We did discuss that. Incomplete knowledge, we understand. Without Guru Sadhu Shastra, we have the incomplete knowledge. How do we get incomplete knowledge? We get incomplete. How we get complete knowledge? When we read. And we have seen the examples of in previous verses of Shri Īśopaniṣad mantra, where it says, Na duram, na pasam, which is like Krishna is not, so absolute truth it says, is not far and is not close, does not have the legs, cannot walk but also run. So how? And it's just like, it's hard to understand. But then Srila Prabhupada gives the commentary, and then with the commentary, he gives us the wider perspective. So just if somebody will pick one verse, which many other do. So many years back, I heard something from Dr. Zakir Naik, because we were discussing in the university 20 years back. And he said, no, see, Dr. Zakir Naik refer one of the verses from your scriptures. And I had a look, and this is the verse he mentioned. He said, well, see, so he was convincing somebody who was on the mic, and he was a Hindu. I said, well, see, it says your God does not have, so he's against deity worship, what some other religions are. And he said, see, this mantra says he doesn't have any legs, he doesn't have any hands, he cannot walk, so he doesn't have eyes. So how do you have the deity which you worship? He does not, the Lord does not have a form. But then when we saw the mantra, we understood that if we just go with narrow perspective with one verse, it's hard to understand. So how do we understand? How Srila Prabhupada explains that Krishna does not have the material senses, right? And we have seen even with the scriptures, Srila Prabhupada himself, he was a spiritual. So, and this has always been the practice in the Vedic culture, that the spiritual beings, their body is not burnt. So when we die, normal people, our body, if we follow Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma, our body will be burned. But because our body is material. But the spiritual beings, the acharyas, because they came down from a spiritual birth with their spiritual body. So their bodies don't get burned. Even in Vedic culture, there is the concept where, for example, Srila Prabhupadaji's body is there in Vrindavan. Right? So the samadhis are there. So we should understand. Similarly, Krishna's body, whenever Krishna comes with a spiritual body. So these eyes, so he doesn't have eyes, he doesn't have legs, he doesn't have hands, means he doesn't have material eyes, material hands, material legs. The spiritual hands are there. And how do we understand? Because the other verses are given where it says that Krishna has, Brahm Samhita, beautiful words Brahmaji recites in the glories of Lord Krishna. So when we have the wider picture, Again, the analogy is when the 5 people who have never seen elephant, they go in a dark room, they go and they're trying to touch the elephant, different body parts of elephant. Their reality is different. But if they will take the time, if they will go the whole body, which will take longer, or maybe if when they will come back with their incomplete knowledge, somebody else will get, well, I also went in, I also touched elephant, but elephant was like a wall because the person touched the stomach. The other person say, no, it's like a trunk. And then when 2 or 5 people will share their incomplete knowledge, the knowledge becomes complete. Or somebody who has seen the elephant will say, well, all 5 of you are right, because elephant has all these aspects. Similarly, when Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra associate, they give us that complete knowledge. Right? Otherwise, from our own knowledge, it's very, very, very hard to understand. So this is what we say, mental speculators. So number A, those who can't understand, impersonalists, because they said they don't have relationships. So and we have seen this. And if I haven't I've shared in past. If you don't have a copy of this presentation, I can share this presentation. As I said, I've combined 3 presentations from Chaitanya Charan Prabhuji, Radhe Shyam Prabhuji, and Hare Krishna TV. Presentations of Shri Īśopaniṣad in one presentation. So if I haven't shared, I can share this in PDF or PPT form, whichever you prefer. But this is what we have done in previous. Mental speculators, impersonators, Mayavadis, what Srila Prabhupada said, not Brahmavadis. Brahmavadis, they don't do offense for the form, but Mayavadis, they do offend of the form. Again, the original Adi Shankaracharya is preaching, he did Bhaj Govinda, so he doesn't do offense. And his followers, they didn't do either. But obviously, for many, many, many years now, it's been so much changed. So the modern impersonalists, they do, because they have incomplete knowledge. So knowing Krishna is but the devotees of Krishna. So we have to get associated. So A, B, C, the very first one is A, the association. Second one, B is the books, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, right? And the C is the chanting, right? And then the D is the diet, where we read. We eat only the prasadam we offer to Krishna. So this is how we could know Krishna. And then, if you think about it, demigod worship, we have seen in detail. So in this verse, the verse itself mentions 2 different types of worships. One is the impersonalist worship, Mayavadis, and Brahmavadis. But the major difference, Brahmavadis, they only focus on impersonalism, but they don't have any comments on the form of the Lord. They say, well, it might be there, it might not be there, we don't know about it. We are currently focused on impersonalism. Fair enough, because everyone has a different journey, right? And Brahman realization is spiritual as well. But Mayavadis, they not only follow Brahman realization, of course, they are not realized, because if they are realized, they don't do offense. And they condemn the form. They are one of those examples I've given, where they will say, no, 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 Lord does not have any form. No, we cannot say that. We can say, I don't know the form is there or not. We should not say, Lord does not have a form, because we don't know the Lord. It's not possible to know the Lord. But of course, Lord could reveal himself. Like the analogy we have seen, that if the child would like to jump on the shoulders of the parents, for example, the father, then the child could not do it himself or herself. But if the father would like to play, just by the compassion, father will kneel down, and then the child could jump over, right? And then somebody will say, oh, well, this child, how he got it. Only the reason the child able to got on top of the father, due to the Father's compassion himself. Similar way, the only way we could understand Lord is when Lord gets attracted by our efforts towards our devotion, what we call sadhana. So we are sadhat, we are sadhana, bhakti. By our efforts, Krishna will reveal himself. Not because we have done this and we claim, no, we can't. So similar thing in worship, that what is those who worship demigods, they say that, oh, it's another Krishna is another powerful demigod, right? And why they worship demigods? Like the examples we have seen, Bhagavad Gita chapter 7, verses from 21 to 23. But Krishna himself says that those who are unintelligent, they get bewildered, and they have strong desire for sense gratification, material desires. They go and they get temporary relief. So it's true, because Krishna says in another verse that I am the one. I'm the one. 9:23, chapter 9, verse 23. I'm the one who gives the powers to demigods. And we all will get temporary relief. And the worshipping of uh, demigods is not bad, as we concluded. But what we should seek? We could always say thank you. We can express our gratitude because they all are elevated, right? But we should always ask for the spiritual progress rather than material desires. And the destination itself, demigods. There are other verses as well in Bhagavad Gita. Those who worship the devas, they will go to devas. Those who will worship bhutas, they will go to the bhutas. And then Krishna says, those who worship me come to my planet. So the destination will be different. And of course, they all are temporary destinations. And we come down, except the Gokula, which is Krishna, because Krishna said, the one who comes to me, my dharma will never fall down. But all other destinations are temporary. What is this problem? Abrahma bhavana loka. Again, the temporary. That's the problem. It's the relief is temporary, and then the destination is temporary. So not only throughout the process, what we get is temporary. Final destination in demigod worship is temporary, and then we have to come down anyway. So how do they reach? Well, this is very different. We have seen the examples of mystic powers and other analogies as well. But if it's material, it's wrong. If it's a spiritual demigod worship, we would still do it. So in gist, I think this is how we could understand. Temporary relief, we have seen the example, 720 to 723. Some of the examples, Krishna himself has said. Materially, demigod worshippers get entangled. And materially, they will get relief. By spiritual growth, it might happen, or it might not happen. Depends what is our consciousness when we are worship. Right? Same thing in the Kartik month. Are we doing the extra rounds of chanting, or let's say the minimum rounds of chanting? And what we are asking for? Are we asking for the job promotion? Are we asking for the bigger house, better car, better model, latest model of iPhone? Or are we saying, Krishna, please give me the strength to overcome the obstacles I have in my spiritual path so I could become a better devotee? So those 16 qualities, no, chapter 16, the qualities mentioned, they will develop in me for the devotees. And this is how we should understand. Pseudo worshippers, this is the sub branch of demigod worshippers. It might or might not be demigod worshippers. Even those who are worshipping Krishna direct might be just pseudo. A lot of people, they say, fake it until you make it, right? In public speaking, usually we do it. We say that even if you don't have the confidence, show that you have confidence and go on the straight, and you will do it so often that after a while, just by faking it, after a while you will make it, which means you will be there and you will not have any butterflies in your stomach. Well, with experience, it comes. It says public speaking is the second after the death, after the fear of death. The second is public speaking, and the third is the fear of spiders. I think His Holiness Keshav Maharaj mentioned once in one of his talks. So pseudo worshippers are there. We did discuss this pseudo worshippers, and if you see this, this is where we were concluding that we see. I mean, we all can discuss. It's like we have seen other people getting all those powers, all those wisdoms, all those money, everything what we desire, and most of the time we work for, we have seen others gaining it and at that end dying it. If you think about it, this is exactly what happened with Buddha, Gautam, Siddhartha Gautam, the prince. He saw, well, what's the point? If everybody is getting disease, I'm going to get disease. If everybody is getting old, I'm going to get old, and everybody going to get sick. Everybody going to die. If I'm going to die as well, I better find a solution rather than seeing all these people at the front of me and then just ignore. And a lot of time we do. So this frog, who says this is the life. I love a good soak. Like I'm taking a bath there. This frog just ignoring the other frog. And don't we all do that same? When boiling a frog, place in a cool water and slowly turn up the heat. This is what Maya does it with us. Cool water. We are enjoying. Right? We go on holidays and we enjoy ourselves there. We forget Krishna. Right? We forget. We say, oh, life is beautiful. Material life is so good. Right? But when things go down, slowly, the temperature is increasing. When we were supposed to do the sadhana, when we were supposed to read the scriptures, we were supposed to chant, we were supposed to take the association, we were supposed to listen more lectures on during Kartik month. What we were doing, we were enjoying. Why? Because we didn't have the time. A lot of times, I share the Zoom invite to so many different friends of mine. They can't come. Why? Because they don't have the time. They don't have the time. Of course, we all have the time. We have just set up our preferences. And again, all due respect to everyone, because everyone has set their own preferences. That's it. It's not right or wrong. It's just the preferences. Devotees know very well, they have realized that time is short. And we have seen the example before, last time, I think, where a king comes to a sage and said that, don't you get attracted towards all these things? And the sage said, I will give you the explanation later. Let me tell you, you're going to die in 6 days or 7 days. And the king just ran away and said, oh, do you want to hear my answer? And he said, no, I'm going to die in 7 days. Let me go. 6 days he worked so hard trying to fit everything in. And the 7th day, the sage comes and says, how is life? How are your problems? He said, problems? I've been just working day in, day out to sort things out because I know I'm going to die tomorrow. He said, don't worry. I just said it because I wanted you to realize that when the death is there, you know you're going to die. All these material attractions are not there. Did you watch any cricket? Did you watch any movie in the last 6 days? What did you do? Did you go on any holiday? No. Parikshit Maharaj, the whole Bhagavatam is there. 7 days, 7 nights, he's going to die. What did he do? Read Bhagavatam, study Bhagavatam, listen Bhagavatam from the teachers, from the scriptures, within the association. Amazing examples. And they are our ancestors. We are the followers. We should learn from them. And this is the complete freedom. So when we remember, when the devotees remember that we are going to die, we are no different. All of the frogs are there. All of the devotees are there. All of the humans are there. This reason or that reason. It could be a war. It could be COVID. It could be old age. One day we're going to die. And That one day could be today, that one day could be tomorrow. We don't have time. When we know that, then our priorities shift. That shift in the priorities happen. And that's the most powerful realizations of all. That we are going to die and it could happen anytime. How we should spend our time. And that is the way out. That is the way out. And this particular mantra itself, that what we should do. Should we spend time on impersonalism? Should we spend time on deity worship? Or should we spend time in what the way out is? Right? So Īśopaniṣad therefore instructs that we should not seek temporary relief. And temporary relief could be, oh, I'm stressed, let me watch cricket. And again, I know cricket World Cup is going on. I'm not following that much. I'm not saying that we should not follow, but yeah, follow in the sense that we find out in the news what's happening, or maybe because we need to be part of the conversation. But do we have enough time to watch? I don't know how long it takes. 4 hours? Do we have time to watch 4 hours? And some of my friends, I mean, I'm so surprised. I remember many years back they used to do it, but even now they're watching the repeat telecast. Of course, we watch what we call highlights, but repeat telecasts as well. And these are the just priorities. Again, not criticizing anyone. It's just the priority based on our realizations, right? What do we need to do? It's a temporary relief. It's a temporary happiness. The match finishes, the whole series finishes, another sport will come, and it will continue. These temporary reliefs will continue. They will give you temporary. This gives us, and we all are there together. A bit of it, and that's it. It's gone. The series finishes. A team wins, and we move on to the next series. And temporary reliefs, and that's the reason how usually people in this material world have just say, don't keep yourself free, just keep yourself busy. And that's what Srila Prabhupada said it once. Srila Prabhupada said that to one of the devotees that, well, long story short, that saying how, so somebody thought that how Srila Prabhupada, you got so many disciples, and Srila Prabhupada said, because I've won over the sensual gratification, the urge to have sex. And the devotee just thought about it. How could you do that? It's very hard to do it. And this person was brahmachari. Srila Prabhupada was sannyasi. And Prabhupada, the person told the story, and the Srila Prabhupada just answered. The person didn't ask the question, he just thought about it. Prabhupada turned back and he said, not that I've got out of it. The thing is, I don't have time for it. I don't have time to think for it. How? Because I've filled all my time with this spiritual activity. And that's what a devotee does. That's what a devotee does. So fill our time with the priorities, so we don't have time for the material things. But of course, what happens, or what's happening at the moment, we are so much engrossed in material world that the material things, they have taken priority, and we don't have time for our spiritual practices. But again, we all are on the same path. Maybe here and there, somebody's driving at the speed of 80 miles, somebody might be on 120 miles, somebody might be just starting. So we all are there together. But the very first thing is to realize where we are, where we would like to grow, or what it should be, which scriptures, again, sadhu, the devotees will tell us, the guru will tell us, the scriptures will tell us, and that's what we should study. And then we do the gap analysis. I'm here, I would like to go there, and this is the gap analysis. Let's work on, put some practices how to fill this gap. Simple. Not simple to do it, but simple to understand, I hope. And then this is where it comes back. And we say, what is the way out? Only way to approach Supreme Personality of Godhead. I've said it a number of times. We can't do it alone. Only way to do is take devotees' shelter. And what devotees will do? They will get us attached to sadhu. Devotees are sadhu. Guru, we need guru. We definitely need guru. And of course, there are two types of gurus. One diksha guru who will give us diksha, but then siksha gurus, and there are many more sikshas. We learn from each other. We all are each other's siksha gurus. We could be. We should help each other. Right? We have the whole week. Let's go through. We are going to start mantra 13 next time. Meanwhile, have some realization when we come back next Saturday 9:30. Have those realizations with you. Read mantra 12 again. Read mantra 13. Share those realizations, and then we are learning from each other's realizations. Of course, Mataji is not there today. She's great. She spends so much time in just to strengthen her spiritual practice. And that's the reason she has things to share. Now, you might think, oh, I don't have anything to share. If you don't have anything to share, I think the only reason is that throughout the week, we don't spend much time listening to the lectures. Take any preacher we prefer. And there are so many of those. So many great preachers are there online on YouTube, on their channels. The whole series are given. And sometimes I do it. Like this month, I'm going to follow all. So His Holiness Keshav Maharaj Ji is there, and his channel is there. If you like to follow, I think his channel says wisdom, which wisdom that breathes is his channel. So he hasn't given his own name. And if I will share that here, he is great. And of course, he's just one example. There could be many more which aligns to our own understanding. Like as I said, Chaitanya Charan Prabhuji is there, Radhesham Prabhuji is there, and they have done the presentations of when I did my own Bhakti Shastri, I heard both of them, or from ISKCON Dietary as well. And this is what I usually do. We have one thing, go on the net, go on Google, go on YouTube, put that topic there, put that mantra there, and you will find so many of those have shared their realizations. And when we listen to them, then the understanding get better and it keeps improving. So that's how we understand the right way of worshiping. So whole mantra. Remember the way to remember mantra 9, 10, 11. The understanding, the true knowledge, what's wrong knowledge, what's true knowledge, the good knowledge, the right knowledge. We should have that knowledge. What we will do based on that knowledge, we will worship. And then mantra 12, 13, and 14, how we should worship. How we should worship. Mantra 12 itself says impersonalism. Of course, if it's just Brahman realization, Brahmavadi is good enough. Not Mayavadis where we condemn we do offense on the form of the Lord. No, Brahmavadi is good enough if that's where we are. If you say, I don't know, I haven't seen God yet, I don't know if God has form or not, it's okay. It's okay. We can't see the sun all the time, but we can feel the energy of sun's radiations, right? We can. We know it's day, even though we can't even see the sunlight. We know it's day because the sun is out there, even though we can't see sun. Well, it's very easy for me to say because I'm here in London and sun is out there, it's daytime, but sun is not visible. Sun is mostly not visible here, especially now when winter is approaching. So we should always think. So that's kind of impersonalism is still okay. We can see the Lord's energy all around us. And then demigod worship, yes, we can do it. But what we seek for during that, we should seek spiritual growth, spiritual blessings rather than material. Materials are only byproduct. They will come automatically. Because Krishna has said it, I protect what my devotee has, and I give what he needs, not what he desires, what he wants, what he needs. We should not worry about it. Never, ever. Right? We fly on planes, and we trust this airlines has hired the best or capable qualified pilots. We don't go and check for all those qualifications. We just trust we have that faith, right? We just need to choose the airlines carefully. That's it. And we are in this sampradaya. We know that acharyas are good. Postman delivers message. So how do we know our guru? How do we know the Sangha is good? Because they don't have their personal motives. They are postmen. Like Srila Prabhupada ji said, I'm a postman. My guru has asked me to give this message. I'm giving you this message. And we all are postmen. All are postmen. Right? And that's how we understand. So we'll conclude it here. We will start mantra 13. And mantra 12 describes the fear of those who do not correctly worship the supreme cause. So impersonalism and demigod. Even though we have seen the gist, how we can improve those too. And then mantra 13 explains another fate of those. Sorry, this is fear. This is fate. Fate, like what happens to those? What are the destinations? Fate awaits those who do worship correctly and guided by Dhira. So Dhira is like we will see. We will get more into it. Mantra 13. So mantra 12, what we should not do. Mantra 13, now what we should do. And then mantra 14, we will combine these two together, that they go hand in hand. Right? So this is the main theme, that Shri Krishna, the supreme cause of all causes, Swambhu, can be known and worshipped only by approaching the true spiritual master, Adhira. So the Dhira is a spiritual master, and this is we will see in Nectar of Devotion as well, and not by any other path. So we need devotees, we need Guru. We need Guru, Sadhu, and Sangha. We need all three together. So if we will able to do it, we will able to do the easy journey to other planets. This is another beautiful book put together by Srila Prabhupada. So thank you so much for all your presence today. It's time now, and I hope we all are taking the best, making the best use of Kartik mantra. Do as much chanting as you could do, as much as hearing you could do. Have that Damodar Ashtakam running. It's beautiful, beautiful way of glorifying Lord Krishna. So with that, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev Maharaj ki jai, jai jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Hare Krishna,
Hare
everyone.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Danvat pranam, sir.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Danvat pranam, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Look forward to see everyone next Saturday.